Hello everyone and welcome to this video podcast on the last days. My name is David and the title of this episode is Signs of the Times and the Parable of the Fig Tree, Part 2, with a subtitle of Signs, Signs, and More Signs. This is episode 17. To begin, let's restate the three things we learned from the Parable of the Fig Tree, Part 1. Already summer is nigh, but the end is not yet. Nor will the end come until all shall be fulfilled. These 3 points are backed up by Scripture, beginning with Doctrine and Covenants, section 35, verse 16, which reads, "And they shall learn the parable of the fig tree, for even now already summer is nigh." And then we have Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, which reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And lastly, we have 2 scriptures, Doctrine and Covenants, section 45, verse 23, which reads, "But these things which I have told you shall not pass away until all shall be fulfilled." In Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, which reads, "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass." Now with that having been said, we can assign dates to these 3 points as follows. The first point has the date of 1830, for that is when the revelation was given that reads, "For even now already summer is nigh." For the second date, we can use the current year of 2022, for even though nearly 200 years have passed since 1830, and even though many more signs of the times have been fulfilled, yet we have all discovered that even in our day, the end is not yet. Finally, for our third date, we will use the prophetic black box once more to represent a big unknown, for who knows how long it will take until all shall be fulfilled that has been prophesied. Another way of representing the same thing is to show a fig tree in the year 1830 with a number of fig leaves on it, with enough signs of the times or fig leaves appearing for the Lord to declare that even now already summer is nigh. Then to show a fig tree in the year 2022 with a good many more fig leaves on it, representing signs of the times that have already been fulfilled. But even so, the end is not yet. And lastly, to show a fig tree at some unknown future date with all the possible fig leaves upon it, and yet waiting until all shall be fulfilled before the Lord appears in the clouds of heaven. And yet, even though we are told that Christ's sudden appearance will overtake the world as a thief in the night, we are also told that the saints, whom the Lord refers to as the children of light, will not be caught off guard and unprepared. So let's turn to that hopeful message now. The promise that we are given is that the children of light are not to be overtaken as a thief in the night. For example, the Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Thessalonians, writes, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober." And in Doctrine and Covenants, section 106, verses 4 through 5, we read the following, "And again, verily I say unto you, the coming of the Lord draweth nigh, and it overtaketh the world as a thief in the night. Therefore gird up your loins, that you may be the children of light, and that day shall not overtake you as a thief." And lastly, we have these words of the Lord in Doctrine and Covenants, section 68, verse 11, which reads, "And unto you it shall be given to know the signs of the times. and the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. Now it is because the saints are the children of light that Elder Bruce R. McConkie is able to state that the saints can have an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again. Not a future target date, but by watching for future prophetic markers that are prophesied to come right before the coming of the Lord. Elder McConkie puts it this way. He writes, "The saints of the Most High have power to read the signs of the times. They need not be deceived as to what has been and what yet shall be. That is, they know and recognize the things that must occur before the second coming, and thus are in a position to have an intelligent opinion as to when the great and dreadful day of the Lord will come." In developing this intelligent opinion, however, there are 3 steps or insights pertaining to the parable of the fig tree that the saints or children of light need to take advantage of. So let's turn now to those 3 insights. In answer to the question of how to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again, we need to take advantage of our understanding of the parable of the fig tree and the signs of the times. And by that I mean by first collecting all or as many of the signs of the times as one can find within the Scriptures, and with the understanding that each fig leaf represents a sign of the times. Next, one must take the time to classify these various signs of the times by using a color code to represent the current status of any one particular fig leaf or sign of the times, with, for example, orange representing those signs that have already been fulfilled, yellow to represent those signs that are currently being fulfilled, and green to represent those fig leaves or signs of the times that are yet to be fulfilled. And finally, and equally important, one must then chart out these signs of the times in their color-coded sequential order, creating a prophetic sequential timeline with those signs that have already been fulfilled coming first, those currently being fulfilled coming second, and those yet to be fulfilled coming last. With these 3 steps having been laid out, let's now discuss each of them separately, beginning with the first. That is, to begin a project wherein one is to collect the signs of the times. Each one of us can start this project on our own. Here is an example of collecting 9 fig leaves representing 9 signs of the times gathered from the Scriptures and placing these 9 fig leaves randomly on the fig tree. With the first 3 fig leaves or signs of the times that I have collected, I will take the time to read the supporting Scripture, while the remaining 6 signs of the times I will merely reference the scriptural support in order to speed things up. The very first fig leaf or sign of the times that I have collected for this project is a sign of the times that we should all be familiar with, and that is the great apostasy or universal falling away that is to take place before the coming of the Lord. The scriptural support for this sign of the times can be found in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 through 4, which reads, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first." With this sign of the time substantiated, we can put our first fig leaf on the fig tree, and with it begin collecting other scriptural supports of a universal apostasy, such as Acts 20, 29 through 30, wherein the Apostle Paul declares, "For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them." The point is, the more scriptural references you have to support a particular fig leaf or sign of the times, the more confident you will be that it truly is a sign of the times to be acknowledged and reckoned with. The second fig leaf, or sign of the times, that I have collected for this example is also a sign of the times that we should all be familiar with, and that is the restoration of the gospel that is to take place before the coming of the Lord. The scriptural support for this sign of the times can be found in Acts chapter 3, verses 20 through 21, which reads, "And he shall send Jesus Christ, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven must receive until the times of restitution of all things, which God has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began." With this sign of the times substantiated, we can put our second fig leaf on the fig tree, and with it begin collecting other scriptural supports of a gospel restoration in these latter days, such as Revelations chapter 14, verses 6 through 7, wherein the Apostle John declares, "And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come." This brings us to our third fig leaf, or sign of the times, wherein it is prophesied that Elijah the prophet will come before the coming of the Lord. The scriptural support for this sign of the times can be found in Malachi chapter 4, verse 5, which reads, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." With this sign of the times substantiated, we can put our third fig leaf on the fig tree, and with it begin collecting other scriptural supports for Elijah coming in these latter days, such as Doctrine and Covenants, section 110, verses 13 through 15, which reads, "After this vision had closed, another great and glorious vision burst upon us. For Elijah the prophet, who was taken to heaven without tasting death, stood before us, and said, Behold, the time has fully come, which was spoken by the mouth of Malachi, testifying that he, Elijah, should be sent, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord come, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children to the fathers, lest the whole earth be smitten with a curse." With these first three signs of the times and fig leaves as a pattern, we can now make quick work of the next 6 signs of the times, which I have collected for this example. So let me run through them quickly as I place them on the fig tree. We have then these remaining signs of the times: wars and rumors of wars, along with famine, pestilence, and plagues, and earthquakes in divers places, all of which is to take place before the coming of the Lord. And then there are other signs, such as the return of the 10 tribes, the calling of the 144,000 high priests with God's name in their foreheads, as well as the great council at Adam-on-Diamond. Notice that each of these additional signs of the times also have scriptural support, and so we are able to add them to our fig tree with confidence. These 9 fig leaves, or signs of the times, then, are an example of how any one of us can identify and collect the various signs of the times by studying the scriptures and pulling them out one at a time with their scriptural support, and adding them to the fig tree, and as a first step in gaining an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again. Collecting the signs of the times together is no small project, for as Elder McConkie stated, truly the signs of the times are many, no man can name them all. And yet there are those Latter-day Saints who have put a great deal of time and effort into collecting these numerous signs of the times. In fact, we have one Latter-day Saint scholar and author who has published 100 of these signs of the times in his latest book. So let's turn to that published book now. In his book, 100 Signs of the Times, Latter-day Saint scholar and author David J. Ridges has gathered together an impressive and helpful collection of scripturally supported signs of the times. He numbers them 1 to 100, but in a random way and not in any sequential or chronological order. Nonetheless, to get an idea of how impressive this work is, consider our fig tree with just 9 leaves or signs of the times on it, and now view it with these 100 signs of the times or fig leaves. Works such as these are a time saver for all those looking to collect the signs of the times, for a great deal of the homework has already been done for us. Nonetheless, even with this impressive collection of signs of the times, one is left asking, now what? And this leads us to our second step or insight on how to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again. The second step is to classify these various signs of the times, and for our purposes, even color code them to represent their current status. To show how helpful this is in gaining an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again, consider the fig tree with 100 signs of the times before they are categorized and color coded, and what this same fig tree looks like afterwards. One can see then from these 2 fig trees the importance of first collecting and then classifying the signs of the times as already fulfilled, being fulfilled, or yet to be fulfilled, and then color coding them, as shown here. Here then is David J. Ridge's 100 random signs of the times, which he collected and categorized, but did not attempt to put into any chronological order, but simply listed one sign of the times after another, regardless of where it fell on any prophetic timeline of past, present, or future. In any case, while there are a couple of uncategorized signs, for the most part, I was able to identify 8 signs of the times that he had categorized as already fulfilled, and an astounding 66 signs of the times that are currently being fulfilled, leaving 26 signs yet to be fulfilled. To understand why there are so many signs of the times currently being fulfilled, one would have to understand the complex nature of the signs of the times, which I discussed at episode 7, wherein I dealt with the fact that there are general signs, recurrent signs, continuous signs, and multiple interpretations that are applicable to past, present, and future time periods. For example, under continuous signs, we find Matthew chapter 24, verses 6 through 7, which reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and earthquakes in divers places," which could easily be viewed as either already fulfilled, being fulfilled, or yet to be fulfilled, since these particular signs are continuous throughout the whole of the latter days and on up to the second coming of Christ. In David Ridge's book of 100 Signs of the Times, he has chosen to classify these general, recurrent, and continuous signs as in the process of being fulfilled. And that is why you see him classifying an astounding 66 of the 100 signs of the times under this heading, which we have chosen to color code as yellow. The third step in how to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again is to chart out these signs of the times based on the 3 categories and color codes as shown here. So let me enlarge it. Now, it would have been helpful if David Ridge's book had charted out his 100 signs of the times this way, with the 8 already fulfilled signs of the times coming first, the 66 being fulfilled signs coming second, and the 26 yet to be fulfilled signs coming last. But he chose not to do this, and instead just bombarded the reader with one sign of the times after another from 1 to 100, and in no sequential order. To me, this was a missed opportunity on his part to bring clarity and continuity to his work. In any event, we can go ahead and take the additional step in our efforts to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again by zeroing in on the signs of the times yet to be fulfilled, and by simply eliminating all the signs of the times that have already been fulfilled or are currently being fulfilled, leaving us with just the 26 signs of the times that he has personally identified as yet to be fulfilled. Now there are a lot more than these 26 signs of the times yet to be fulfilled, but his list of these 26 is a good start. For example, here are 4 of the 26 signs of the times that he has identified as yet to be fulfilled. Sign 74, New Jerusalem will be built. Sign 76, a temple will be built in Jerusalem. Sign 89, Babylon will fall. Sign 94, the meeting at Adam-on-Diamond. Now the fulfillment of all these future signs of the times are subject to 2 big unknowns. First, we have our prophetic black box time frame, wherein we are dealing with a big unknown. For who is to say how many years God's 6,000-year prophetic timeline is off, as it could easily be off 20, 30, 50, or even 70 years or more. The second big unknown is the number of signs of the times that are yet to be fulfilled. For there are certainly a good number more signs of the times yet to be fulfilled than the 26 listed in David Ridge's book. And recall Elder McConkie's remark, wherein he stated, "Truly the signs of the times are many. No man can name them all. And if we cannot name them all, then how are we to know when they have all been fulfilled? And yet we are told that the end will not come until all shall be fulfilled." So we have 2 big unknowns that we must all take into consideration when formulating or evaluating our last days timelines. First, the unknown prophetic black box time frame, and secondly, the unknown number of future signs of the times yet to be fulfilled. Now it should be noted that David Ridge is totally against the idea of taking these final 26 signs of the times and laying them out in any sort of sequential or chronological order. Under the heading of "Avoid trying to develop an exact sequence for the final signs of the times," he writes, "It is rather fascinating to view the signs of the times as a general sequence of events leading up to the actual coming of the Lord. However, it is wise to avoid attempting to develop an exact sequence for the final few events before the second coming. It seems that the Lord does not want us to know the exact sequence of these final fulfillments of prophecy." Now, while I agree with this cautionary note of not establishing future target dates, I do not agree with his last statement that the Lord does not want us to know the exact sequence of these final fulfillments of prophecy. For I believe the Lord has made it quite clear that he does want us to be aware, else why give us the book of Revelation, which lays out these final events in sequential order, beginning with the first seal and ending with all the events to take place in the 6th and 7th seal. And furthermore, if the Lord did not want us to be aware of the exact or at least approximate sequence of these final fulfillments of prophecy, then why did he provide us with all the prophetic timelines that are scattered throughout the scriptures, such as Enoch's timeline, Daniel's timeline, John the Revelator's timeline, Nephi's 2 timelines, Joseph Smith's various timelines, as well as many others that can be found? It makes no sense to me for the Lord to provide us with so many prophetic timelines within the scriptures and then go on to claim that the Lord does not want us to know the exact or at least approximate sequence of these final fulfillments of prophecy. We have covered then the 3 steps or insights into how to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again by first collecting, then classifying, and finally charting out all the signs of the times in chronological order based on their color code of already fulfilled, being fulfilled, or yet to be fulfilled, and thereby providing us with a reasonable and plausible prophetic and sequential timeline to build upon in our future episodes. We end then with yet another prophetic timeline alert, and that is to note that it is possible to gain an intelligent opinion on when the Lord will come again by collecting, categorizing, and charting out the signs of the times based on their color code. This completes part 2 of this 2-part series on the signs of the times and the parable of the fig tree, which sets the stage and leads us into our next episode, episode 18, which is titled Introducing and Designing Prophetic Timelines, with a subtitle of Timelines, Timelines, and More Timelines. Thank you for watching. Push the like button if you enjoyed this episode, and be sure to push the subscribe button. Until next time, stay vigilant, for ye know neither the day nor the hour of his coming.